Our planet is full of incredible natural formations. However, take a minute to stop and think about some of the amazing things humans have built. Be it skyscrapers, dams, and monuments, humans have made some really astonishing creations. These superstructures are a testament to our ingenuity and vision. From time to time, though, our ambition exceeds our reach, and vast projects can fail. When this happens, projects usually fail spectacularly, sometimes causing massive amounts of damage and substantial financial losses. So, what causes these projects to fail? Hello and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and press that bell icon to never miss any of our updates. In this video, we will discuss 5 megaprojects that sounded ambitious, but failed to meet our expectations. Now, let's begin. Number 5. Nuclear testing at Bikini Atoll. After World War II, the US became infamous for its hundreds of tests with nuclear bombs. Many were done around the island known as Bikini Atoll, making it an uninhabitable area. At the time, though, many of these tests involved naval ships being in the blast radius. However, not all of them sank, leaving a floating hunk of radioactive metal. So many of them were towed back to Hunters Point shipyard in San Francisco, where many were either dismantled or sank. What was left were hazardous chemicals used to disinfect many of the ship's radioactive waste and contaminated water. In recent years, though, the city of San Francisco has been working with the Department of the Navy to clean up the area and make it suitable for habitation. Over $1 billion has been spent on the effort. However, in 2018, 2 employees of Tetra Tech and the contractor charged with testing the soil for radiation pleaded guilty to falsifying results. The scandal froze construction at the shipyard and prompted many lengthy investigations. Some of them revealed that instead of removing all of the contaminated materials as promised, the Navy buried them. It was just one of a handful of scandals that rocked the entire project. The lack of accountability and oversight nearly put thousands of lives in jeopardy, not to mention the environmental damage done. Number 4. California's Oroville Dam. Deep in Northern California, you will find the Oroville Dam. The massive earth-fill embankment dam is an integral part of the California State Water Project. It is also the tallest dam in all of the U.S. For the most part, the history of the Oroville Dam is solid. There have been some hiccups along with its lifespan, but nothing too major. That all changed in February of 2017. The problems began with the 2017 California floods, which brought Northern California its wettest winter in nearly a century. Then, constant storms dropped large volumes of rain and snow in a short amount of time, quickly raising the water levels in Lake Oroville. Rainfall damaged the main spillway of the den. Officials hoped it would be enough to lower the water levels, but it wasn't. Shortly after 8 in the morning on February 11th, the water rose over the emergency spillway for the first time since 1968. To make matters worse, erosion at the base of the weir began progressing much faster than expected. Officials released a real threat that their weir could collapse, sending a wall of water downstream to flood nearby communities. On February 12, 2017, an evacuation order was announced. In total, 188,000 people temporarily left the area shortly after this. The emergency spillway was closed for repairs. The main spillway now took the brunt of the water flow, furthering its deterioration and damage and forcing the hydroelectric plant's closure. No collapse occurred, and the water levels slowly dropped, allowing for a complete repair in the coming months. Number 3. St. Francis Dam in Los Angeles. Between 1924 and 1926, engineer William Mulholland oversaw the construction of St. Francis Dam. A curved concrete gravity dam was designed to create a storage reservoir for the city of Los Angeles. It was an essential part of the city's aqueduct water supply infrastructure. After the dam's completion in 1926, water began to fill the reservoir, but problems arose almost immediately. Every month, from seepage to cracks in the dam itself, seemed to be met with a new challenge. Finally, it was all leading to one terrible event. On March 12, 1928, the dam suffered a catastrophic failure just before midnight. The entire dam collapsed at the same time. It resulted in about 12.4 million gallons of water being released into the San Francisco Canyon. The tide was mighty, destroying everything in its path. 400 people lost their lives. Multiple investigations concluded that the dam's failure was due to it being built on a shaky foundation. Number 2. Spain's Ciudad Real Airport. In the early 2000s, the European economy was booming. Southern Europe was especially on its way to an economically successful season. The expansion made it possible for construction projects to get easy funding. However, in the mid-2000s, the financial crisis hit demand for travel and infrastructure investments, leaving some of the grandest and most ambitious construction projects abandoned. That was the case for the Ciudad Real Airport in Spain, which reportedly cost over 1 billion euros to construct. The original plan was for the airport to take excess traffic away from the Madrid Barajas Airport. However, there was one immediate problem. The airport was built too far away from the city, 150 miles south of Madrid. The expensive airport was only open for 3 years and saw flights from only 2 airlines. It eventually had to close its doors. Now, the massive building remains abandoned yet is still racking up costs. Being a 1 billion euro airport left in just 3 years, it was one of the biggest financial failures in the country's history. Number 1. US's failed attempt to create the world's largest Hadron Collider. In the 1980s, the US wanted to construct the largest particle collider in the world. Plans were put in place for everything to be built in Texas. After its completion, it would have been 20 times larger than any accelerator ever constructed. It would have been more significant than the CERN laboratory in Geneva, Switzerland, where the Large Hadron Collider is. We use the term would have been because the project was abandoned in October of 1993. Many factors contributed to its failure. First, there was an inability to secure any foreign funding, which was pivotal. Second, the project's cost had nearly tripled from the original estimates in the middle of a national recession and political insistence on controlling government spending. Finally, as the project was almost 20 times bigger than anything physicists had ever managed before, clashes between the accelerator's management team and the military-industrial culture imposed by the U.S. Department of Energy led to seemingly endless audits and an overall lack of trust. Now, except for some underground generators and the miles of tunnels, everything sits empty. The site was initially given to Ellis County. Numerous attempts to sell the property failed. It was until 2006 that one private investment group purchased the property, and it was rumored that there were plans to use the site as a data center. But as of 2011, nothing has been built yet. But for perspective, the largest currently operating particle accelerator has an energy output of 14 trillion electron volts. If the superconducting super collider had been made operational, it would have put out 40 trillion electron volts. Who knows where the future of this project stands, but as of now, billions of dollars have been lost. And that's all for this video. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and press the bell icon to never miss an update. See you next time.